We did a Viessmann 111 installation in Leeds, and I did like step-by-step videos, a few different ones, but I've been asked if I could put them all together in one video because I've done a few Viessmann 111 videos and they've got a bit mixed up. So what I've done is I've put all the sections of the video together and I've put it all into this one video for you. So this is the Viessmann 111 installation from start to finish. Please like, please subscribe, and please ring the bell. Thank you very much. My name's Alan Hart, and today we're starting a new boiler installation. So we're going to take out this old Worcester Bosch boiler. I'll show you that shortly. And we're going to install a new Viessmann 111 storage combi boiler. So I'll show you them now. So we've got the old, so that's an old boiler there, an old Worcester Bosch. It's like a CDI, but it's actually the British Gas branded boiler. We're going to put the new boiler on the wall here. So I've put some ply behind where the boiler is going to be. We're going to put that little piece in there as well. So the new boiler is going to go on there. Just got Danny, just say hello, Danny.
Hello everyone.
Just got Danny just sorting out his cutters, just changing some blades and lubing them all up and making them good to work. And then we've got his boiler there. That's his Viessmann 111. Danny's removed all the lagging off this now. If we have a look at the pipes go directly under where we're going to put the new boiler. So we can cut these pipes back, and it should be quite easy really, this one. We've only got to get condensate, the main one that we've got to get back out, and we've got to sort out the flue. We need to take the flue out of that same hole, but we're going to have the boiler over here, so that's just something to be wary of as well. One thing we're doing with this boiler is we're leaving the old boiler working, and I'm going to install the new boiler here, connect all the pipe work in below, and then just get it so it's easy to swap over. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to cause the customer the minimal disruption, so that I don't want the customer to be without hot water overnight. And if I do that, if I do all this work first, then obviously, you know, we'll be able to swap it over and, you know, customer will be happy. So very important that if you can, just try and keep disruption to minimum for customer. Just remember, if you're going to install a gas boiler, you must be gas safe registered. We've got the template on the wall now. So this is the Viessmann 111. And this is the boiler here. So this boiler is quite big. It's a little bit like a washing machine really. And then we've got the bracket there. So I'm just going to put that on the wall now. So I've put the bracket, put the bracket on the wall. I've used the plugs and screws that come with the boiler with a 10mm hole. And then I'm putting some bolts in. This is quite a heavy boiler, so I'm putting some bolts in as well, which I've put some resin in wall, and I've put some threaded bar into the wall. I'm just going to let this threaded bar go off now, and then what we'll do is we'll tighten these nuts up, and then we'll be able to lift the boiler onto the wall then. So we've got this Viessmann 111 storage combi boiler, and we're going to lift it onto the wall now. These nuts here, these bolts that I've put into the wall, we've allowed them enough time for it to cure, and we've tightened them up. So now we're going to lift the boiler on the wall. Nice and easy, aren't we, Danny?
Yep.
Lift it underneath.
Yeah.
Look. So that's it. Boiler's on wall. a lot easier when I've got Danny with me. Last time I did it, I had Luke with me, my young lad, and it was a bit of a struggle. Let's have a look at the boiler now. I'm just going to watch Danny do this, and I'm going to give him little tips if he needs it, but mainly what I'm going to get him to do, I'm going to oversee him looking at instructions and making sure that it's all getting done correctly. I believe that people learn better if they'd sort of dropped in deep end, but I'll still give him a cuddle if he needs a cuddle, what, Danny?
Yeah, I probably will.
So what are you doing now?
I'm going to go for the gas first.
You're just going to put some pipes on under here?
Yeah, in the middle.
So we've just got Danny now doing some pipe work underneath, and he's going to use the new press gun that we've got. He's marking the fittings with a black marker pen so that he knows that the fitting hasn't come out before he presses it, which I'll show you that shortly. We're going to put a central heating filter on this system. Normally I would use the Amiga filter because I think the Amiga filter is a very, very good filter. On this job, I'm going to use this one. I'll just show you. So this is the Trapex. It's the Trapex filter. You want it? What do you want it?
Colour.
What do you want it?
Pipe colour.
What, 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one there. If we look at both these filters here, just lift that up a bit. If we look at both them filters there, they're fairly similar. And the magnets in the top, to me, they look identical. I'm going to unscrew them out and I'm just going to check, see if they are the same. Yeah, so I'll put this on now. So Danny's just going to press this now. If we have a look on this fitting here, we've put a black marker pen on there. And what we've done is, we've pushed the fitting in, we've marked it with a pen, and then we've checked that it's fully in before we press it. And then Danny's now going to press that on with his new press gun. So all you need to do with this is hold it for 4 seconds. And then it just presses itself. And that's it, all done, nicely pressed. A lot quieter, that gun as well. Danny's putting all pipes on here now, just leveling them all up with laser level. This boiler is the Viessmann 111. So it's the Viessmann's 111 and it's 35 kilowatts. Now this is a storage combi. Some people say, why don't you just fit a 42 kilowatt combi? The difference with a normal combi boiler gives you a temperature rise. So say for instance you've got 10 degrees coming in and your cold water, then your combi boiler might give you a 35 degree temperature rise. And it's not instantaneous, you know, it's not there. You've got to turn the boiler on. So normally you might get 45 degrees, you might get 50 degrees if you slow it, tap down a little bit. The difference with this is this stores some hot water and it stores it at 60 degrees or whatever temperature you set it up front. And when you turn the tap on, the water's already there, ready to come to the tap. So it's that, you know, it's better than a normal combi. The other thing as well is it's 35 kilowatts this, so it's the flow rate, even if you'd run out of the store, which you'd struggle to do, but even if you did, it would revert back to a 35 kilowatt combi boiler, so you'd still get a very good flow rate from it. So all in all, the 111, I think it's a really, really good boiler. So yeah, let's carry on installing it. Danny's just piped the gas up now. He's just done a bend there. Looks nice, does that, Danny?
Thank you.
Is that the first time you've done a bend like that on a job?
Yeah, it actually is. I'm well impressed with it.
Well done, it looks good.
Thanks.
What Danny's done here, he's got most of the pipes ready just to connect in. So once we're ready to cut them, which will be tomorrow, we'll cut these and we'll just swap it over. Same with this one, same with this one here, same with on code over there. So it's all just ready, and gas is done there, and gas goes up, all the way up there, across, and if you see there again, it's ready just to cut and just put a socket in. So it's all ready just to swap over. Flue's in, and flue's ready just to swap over as well. Obviously we'll be changing that banding. We don't put strap band on flues. We'll be putting some proper clips on that as well. But that's it. That's going to be for an expansion vessel. So we're going to put, I'm going to get a new one, but I'm going to get another expansion vessel similar to that. Again, we won't be strapping it to the wall with strap band. We'll get a proper fitting for it. I'm sure you'll agree, Danny's done a great job. So if anybody wants to employ him again, give us a shout. My name's Alan Hart, and today we're on day 2 of the Viessmann 111 installation. Danny's just finishing off this pipe work here, and then we're going to connect it in to the existing system, and we're going to remove this Worcester Bosch boiler. We've just fitted, or Danny's just fitted, an extra expansion vessel here. I'll zoom in and I'll show you that now, and we'll show you why we've done that. We're just finishing off this pipe work here, and we're going to drain the system down and connect this into the existing system. We've just put a remote, or Danny's just put a remote expansion vessel on here. And what an expansion vessel does, the boiler has an expansion vessel built in, and that absorbs the expansion in the water. As water gets hot, water expands, so that absorbs the expansion. You could never have too much or too big of an expansion vessel. We've put a drain off on there. I'm also going to put a valve here, and then when we're doing servicing, we can pump up this expansion vessel above on this Schrader valve that's underneath there. Just going to turn the power off to this boiler now. We're going to test the gas, and we're going to remove this boiler. The customer has had a few issues with this boiler. It's actually leaked quite a few times, and when I came to it, I actually had a pile of plastic parts on here from when it had leaked. The last time was the last straw, because it actually flooded in this garage here, and there was away on holiday. So that's hence the reason they want to change the boiler, but also they wanted to update it to something that will give better performance as well. So I'm just going to remove the case on here now. I've already isolated the power to this, and we've tested it. We've done a safe isolation, so we know that we're not going to get electric shock. And this has 2 screws underneath on the bottom. I'll just show you. This has 2 screws, one on this side and one on this side. Do you want to just lift this case off, Danny? And then it just has a clip on there, and the case will just slide forward. Just pull the case forward, Danny, it'll slide forward. And when we look inside here, I'm just going to undo this screw out of here. Just undo that, take that screw out there, cordless. This actually has a drain off in here, which is really good. So you can put your normal hose pipe onto there, and we can drain it down. This is the parts that leak. So normally it leaks from here, and then Worcester's put this rubber jacket on this one. So this is a bit of a later model, and that's just to protect that motor below. You would expect that they would have sorted the problem, but they hadn't. And also on this side here, this side leaks as well at Worcester's, just in there. anything back. It's a bit hard to see on this, but just there. That leaks as well. On this boiler, both of them has leaked. So I'm just draining the boiler down now. Just get ladder off now, we need to go up and do flue. Danny's just connecting the new boiler in now, so he's cutting the pipe work. He's just connected the returning, he's done that T there, and he's connected that in with press fit. What are you connecting in now, Danny? Oh, this is expansion vessel, isn't it?
Yeah. Put an elbow on it.
Put an elbow on there, yeah. Good stuff. What are you doing now, Danny?
I'm just putting the elbow on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mark it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's in the right position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know now that when you push that on and you press it, you know the fitting's on correctly.
Yeah.
Just got Danny putting a test now on gas. You just done you done let by?
Just doing it now. Just letting it stabilise.
So we've just swapped the gas over. It's only took us probably a minute or so really, because we've left it all just ready to easily swap over. And then Danny's now going to put another test on now, because all the boiler is all fully piped up for the gas side of it anyway. One of the really good things with press fit is we've got water running in this pipe, and if we were going to solder this it'd be quite awkward, but because it's press we can push us fitting on, make sure us fitting's on, and we can just press it. And that's it now, that's all sealed. Just so Danny can have a little bit of experience on boilers. What we're doing, Danny, what are you doing?
I'm stripping it.
Stripping it down, you've taken out the flow turbine adapter, because that's a common thing that leaks.
I'm just taking gas valve out now.
Taking gas valve out. Just give you a bit of experience.
Yeah.
Before we fill the boiler, before we let any of the water in the system go through the boiler, I've just rigged this up here, and what it's doing is I've got cold water is going into this filling loop here, so these are fully open, and then the cold water is going round the heating system there, and it's just doing a mains flush, and that's just before we put any of the water through the boiler. Just got Danny doing condensate there. It's a bit noisy. Just final testing with this now really. I'm just going to check the expansion vessel in the boiler. So first of all what I'll do is I'll drain the system down, take all the pressure out of the system. So I've turned the boiler off. I've opened the drain off so that as we're pumping this up we'll get a true reading on the gauge on here, and I'm going to pump this up to about 1.2 on this job. I've just got the valves open underneath, both the valves. Top this up. It's a service mode now. And I'll put it up to 100%. So that's in service mode, and that'll go full gas, and then we can check his pressure on here, and then we can go check that at the meter as well. So that's just onto analyzer there, onto gas valve there. 0 4 times shows it load. At the moment we've got 33.75 I just did that a minute ago and we had 35. Danny's doing a bit of lagging now. He's just been singing Balamori, but now camera's on, he's gone all quiet. Come on, Danny, sing that song.
No,
What's the story, Balamori? Come on.
You like to know.
My name's Alan Hart, and today I'm installing a new Viessmann 111. So this is a Viessmann Vitadens 111, and I thought I would just do a video to show you how one of these boilers work. So yeah, so it's just temporary wired in at the moment. What I'm going to do is I've got my new Viessmann toolkit here. I'm just going to take 2 screws out of the bottom under here, and then I'm just going to lift the front cover off. And what we'll do, I'll explain to you the insides of it and how it works, and then I'll also go through the front display as well and show you how that works. Let's have a look now. Right, so I've removed the case now, and if we have a look inside, we've got us standard heat engine. We'll have a look inside there shortly, and that's what's in the 100 range of boilers, so we'll have a look at that. We've got a 46 litre heat cell in here as well. We've got the expansion vessel for that as well. Normally when this comes, this green one, the pressure in it will be quite high, so you will need to adjust that, and that needs to be balanced with the cold mains pressure. So if your cold mains is 2 bar or 3 bar, then you would alter that to that. You've got your expansion vessel in here, so this is for the central heating part of the system, and I normally set these around 1.2ish depending on property. Also on this system I've added an extra expansion vessel. Very, very important for all boilers is to check these on a service. Very, very important indeed. We've got a stepper motor up front here. This is a diverter valve, if you like, and then we've got at the back here, we've got a plate heat exchanger. We've also got a couple of pumps as well. What I'll do is I'll zoom in now, and I'll show you inside here. So once the boiler has fired up, this stepper motor, this diverter here, we'll change it to which one we're asking it to be. So if we were asking it to be hot water, this would go to the hot water, the boiler would fire up, and it would go through this plate heat exchanger here, and then the other side of the plate, the water, so the water doesn't mix, it transfers the heat through the plate, and then this pump here will pump it into, if you like, the unvented cylinder. So again, that's the stepper motor, and it's going through the plate, goes into the heat cell, and inside this heat cell it's got 2 pipes that go up inside, and one of them is the hot water going in, and one of them is the hot water coming out and going to the taps, and that is slightly lower, but it goes all the way up into this tank, all the way up here somewhere, quite high up, and that's so that you're not drawing off cold water from the bottom there. This cylinder will recover in about 7 minutes from totally cold. One thing I've done is I've just wrote that on there for me to remember. This boiler is 63 kilograms when it's empty, so it's quite a heavy boiler. So if we have a look inside, I'll have a look in where the heat engine is, the heat exchanger. Take these clips off on the bottom, and the cover just lifts off. If we look inside the boiler, we can see that we've got the Viessmann heat exchanger. So this is the burner, but this is the stainless steel heat exchanger. So that's one single coil all the way around, which is about a 22mm pipe that goes all the way around. One continuous coil. In this model, we've got the rubber hoses. I've been informed by Viessmann that if the pressures are right, if you keep your expansion vessel charged, then you're never going to have an issue with them hoses. Personally, I'm not a lover of the hoses, but I did go to one other day that was 10-year-old, no issues at all. So It depends on the installation, I think, to be honest. All in all, I think these boilers, the performance from these boilers is absolutely amazing. Like no other boiler really. It's like an unvented system. Well, it is sort of an unvented system, but it's in a small box, or a smaller box than a boiler and an unvented cylinder. So it gives you that performance, but in a smaller, compact box. What we'll do now, I'll put the case back on and we'll go through the front display. There's all sorts of settings on this front display, which I think I'll do them in a different video, but you can set up parameters and you can adjust your heating load. So if you wanted to turn the heating load down, if the property is say it's 20 kilowatts the property and you wanted to adjust that, then you can do that as well. So yeah, so let's have a look. We'll have a look at the front display now. I'll just pop the case back on. Before I put case on, just a little tip, just to get the air out of the heat exchanger. What I do is just open. The boiler comes with this plastic tube here, and that's to get the air out of here. And what you can do is, if you just open this, and then as you open that, what I do as well is I just open the filling loop underneath. So now it's filling up and we're getting air out of the heat exchanger. So just a quick tip for you that. If we have a look at the front display on this Viessmann 111, so this is the Viessmann Vitterdens 111 storage combi boiler. If we click on the mode, and now that's flashing central heating. If we click on the central heating, I'm just going to turn that down, turn it off just for a minute. Click OK, and OK again. So that's the heating off on this control. Go back to mode, scroll down, the tap is now flashing. If we click on OK, that's the temperature of the hot water. And again, we can turn that down or to whatever we want it to be. And again, just turn that off. So now that's the hot water and the central heating both off on this display. If we want to go into different settings on this, we've got service mode there. If we click into that, we can do as service mode, we can do as high and as low for as analyzer. If we click again, we can go into configuration. If we go into that and we scroll up to number 12, click OK, we can actually go into a settings on here. I'm not going to do that now, I'm just going to come back out of that. But that's the front display. You can, as I said before, you can adjust the hot water load, heating load, all sorts in these settings. You can adjust this screen display, you can make contrast brighter and down. So the display on it, it's very, very good, very good indeed. So that's us sort of like little review or overview of a Viessmann 111 storage combi. If you've got any questions, please ask them in comments below, and I'll try my best. I'll try my best to answer them for you. Yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, if you'd like to subscribe, even if you click up here, I'll put a link to subscribe. Thanks for watching.